Inefficiencies in Alpha Andromedae 4's production lines have been corrected. Now it's time for a fuel run and a checkup on our research cubes. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Dyson Sphere Program in our Alpha Andromedae series. So we have a couple of things to take care of, as I just mentioned. We need to grab some fuel rods because we've literally just gone to our last one. So this is kind of well-timed. We also need to go ahead and get some... We need to offload those. And we need to have some additional conveyor belts of the Mark III variety. So we're going to stand here again and let the logistics bots do their thing. Actually, I'm going to stand over here and see what's going on with our research production. It actually seems like we're okay. So whatever issue was causing this to back up, you know, it may have been that we just didn't have... Yeah, that's what it was. We didn't have any titanium. Titanium's coming in slowly but surely, and maybe not fast enough to keep these moving constantly. I think as we continue to fix the inefficiencies that we've discovered on that other planet, it will get better and better. So we did bring some solar panels back with us, but not that many. So I think what I'd rather do is hold on to the ones I have at the moment. Yep, we're already getting rid of those. And surprisingly, we aren't being brought too many of these. Hang on, let's put those in our inventory. Or rather, in our logistics slots. Nice. So those now have a farther distribution range than before. And now we're beginning to research the next level of vertical construction, which applies to both storage and our labs. All right, so we're in a much better place fuel-wise. We are still being brought some of those, though. There, now we're done. All right, so let's go over and charge up so that we don't have to wait as long. And I might also, after I'm fully charged up, I might take a moment just to leave some of these resources behind that I have with me. Yeah, so I can hit tab when I select these buildings and automatically fill. Somebody reminded me of this function in the comments. I've used it a lot. It's just that since it had been a moment since I played Dyson Sphere Program before I started this series, remembering that I could do that was not something that came back quickly to me. But you can select any building and just hit tab. See where it says fill materials? You can also hit the tilde key to take whatever products you want from that building quite quickly without having to actually click. So notice that I can empty out my inventory, and if there's anything in particular that I want to empty out, I can do that. So what I'd actually like to do, I'm going to take the products here, and we're also going to just grab as many of these copper ingots as I can, because recall that we do have those resources being produced on Alpha Andromedae 4, but not in very high amounts. So we need to change that. I'll grab these again, and actually, if I go down the line here, I can just grab them straight from storage in massive amounts and build 56. There we go. Now we don't have any more silicon. So what that will enable me to do, actually, is go back, because I do have plenty of silicon. That's the one resource I had lots of, because I fixed that issue a few episodes back. And then ironically, an issue immediately seems to have developed with the iron and the copper on Alpha Andromedae 4. So let's head back there, since we're charged up. We're building up some solar panels. We have the energy to do it, so let's do it. Notice it gets a little bit easier to see where the other planet is now because you have these transports moving back and forth between worlds, bringing things for you. So you can kind of spot for those icons and know where you need to fly. It's glorious. It's just such an impressive game on so many levels, and we're only scratching the surface of this journey so far. We haven't even left the solar system yet, you know? And then, of course, there's this, which you haven't even seen. They added this about a year and a half ago, year and a half ago somewhere. You can't actually leave your cluster, unfortunately, in a playthrough. But they do have a system set up that allows you to see the entire galaxy. So this is where we are. But these are all of the star clusters that exist. You can see where I've built different Dyson spheres, or at least where I've started different save games. But all of these stars are selectable. I'm not actually going to select them. But there are game-wide stats on the total number of watts that are being generated by all the Dyson spheres among all the players of this game. Is that incredible or what? It's mind-blowing. Again, it's just purely to give you a sense for like the scale of what all the players in the game have accomplished together. At the moment, there's no true multiplayer. There is a multiplayer mod, and there are plans to incorporate multiplayer. But the major objective, per the development team at Youthcat, is that they are looking to add the combat mechanics, the alien menace, this year. That's their main focus, is getting the combat implemented and maybe fine-tuning it some this year. But that's what they're doing. All right, we are approaching Alpha Andromedae 4. We have plenty of solar panels now. Don't have enough silicon to build any more, but we will very shortly. Based on where those ships are taking off from, I'm going to kind of aim for right here and hope I don't miss. There we go. Perfect. All right, let's fly over here. First of all, let's visit this. Oh yeah, there we go. How about that? Now we have a lot more solar panels. And let's grab just a few stacks of this. Now we can queue up 30, and then if I grab more silicon, then I can do this. And we're done. So, now we can definitely expand this solar belt. And I don't know that this one needs to be tripled, but we can at least double it. You can tell that for the most part power is holding up, but I would like it to be in even better shape. And I actually do have copious amounts of these now, so let's go ahead and build using blueprints. So I can just zoom. Oh, that's colliding. Now, interestingly, it didn't actually preserve that. So I tried to use the key that it was telling me to use, which is... Oh, I see. Oh, press Shift-Enter, so I have to hit Shift-Enter. That's rare. It's very rare that they have any command built into the game that forces you, as the player, to remove your hand from the mouse. Whether that was an engineering decision or just coincidence, or just because the rest of their decisions about the way the controls work are so good, I don't know. But it works well. All right, so let me land for a moment, regain some juice. We still have plenty of solar panels, so we're going to be able to start increasing the size of the solar belt on Alpha Andromedae 2 as well, which should really help with our power situation there, so that we don't have as much of a back and forth as we've had in past episodes. Meanwhile, we seem to be making good progress towards vertical construction. I don't have any additional labs at present, but all I would need in order to build them looks like I would just need some iron. So hopefully I have what I need. I can go grab that momentarily. But for now, let's finish this belt. Basically just have to walk around the planet once, let the bots do the work. Notice that there are more of them. They are faster. And that is something that only continues to get better as we will play more and more Dyson Sphere Program. Okay, so that is the entirety of the belt. I've now got that doubled up, and it looks like power-wise we're in good shape. So let me go check on the iron situation, because that's going to hold steady now. And we could theoretically go ahead and put some additional transports in place, but the thing is, I don't think we're producing resources rapidly enough for that to be a priority. Yeah, we are not. We're not even producing titanium that rapidly. So one thing we could do is improve this situation. So we can double that up. We will have to do a little bit of powering. Not an issue, though. Alright, so now our titanium production should be a little better. And that will also increase the amount of titanium available to us. Alright, we have plenty more solar panels to build on Alpha Andromedae 2, so things are really starting to automate nicely. And also it seems like we're starting to build our metal back up as well. So I will take this opportunity. Well, let's close that view. Let's build some of these. So I think I'll be able to build 2 more in each tower, so we're going to need 8 specifically. We'll finish building the solar panels that we currently have in our queue. And I would like to go ahead and recharge, so let's do that. We've got 4 of these set up, so this will be relatively quick. It will cause a power spike, but it's worth it. It's obviously worth it. And then as soon as we're done charging, power goes back to normal. Let's take a quick look down here and see how production is doing on these. Looks pretty solid. I'm going to grab those while I'm here. I could grab some additional silicon. Seems like it might be a good idea, because that's what I'll need to build more. I'll queue those up to build after the ones that I currently have queued up are built. And then, yeah, I'm going to need a bit more copper before I can do any more. Let's head back to Alpha Andromedae 2. We now have 202 solar panels in our inventory. Another thing I'm going to need to build a good amount of is this. Right now I don't have a lot of stone in my inventory. I probably had more when I was building those research labs, but it's now being used for those research labs. So we'll have to get more stone. Thankfully we have a box full of it. Does seem like titanium is still bringing a kind of a stoppage to the manual research situation. It might get a little bit better now that we've doubled up the production of titanium ingots. I think there might have still been a few belts too. Yeah, that's right. The belts of additional iron ore need to be improved. So I'll be replacing those when I can. For now, I just kind of want to get the solar belts in place. And that's the plan. Okay, so let's just start here. Space them out by the same amount. You know what? Let's use blueprints here as well, because we can. So I can use I can use Shift Enter to get that to build automatically, which is quite handy. And I will have to do a little bit of maintenance to get them all to build in the right spot, but this will at least get the process started. I love it. All right, so let's go around the planet here. I'm literally traveling around the entire planet at the moment, getting these set up. And it's just a matter of building in some landfill where necessary. But these alone, just by themselves, will help a great deal. And that's everything. So what I'm going to do is we'll fly back to the base. We're actually approaching it now. Take a look at the research situation, because I'm pretty sure it's just due to titanium. Whoa, what's going on there? Oh, that's just one. It looked like there were two stacked on top of each other. Can I really not build a second one there? No, it doesn't look like I can. Interesting. But I can build a little bit of extra land, and now I can. Hey, there we go. You know, now that I've built this all the way around, there is a little bit of a question of, is it necessary to have this thing actually, like, do I need to, for example, do any more land filling here and take away so much waterfront? It might not be necessary. So what I'm going to do, by the way, let's take a look at our fuel situation. Oh, it's not good. Okay, so that's likely part of our issue. This is the main reason that this entire situation. Wow. All right, so what's going on here? Oh, our hydrogen's full, that's why. Okie doke. Okie dokie. That would explain it. You know what we need? Ah, I have fractionators. Okay, well in that case, we can go ahead and start getting those built. Let's see. Honestly, I had been doing other things when that research finished, and I completely forgot that that was an option. So we need to go ahead. Let's do a short-term fix right now. Let's see where the best place to build it would be. Could I build you any higher? Or is that as high as you'll go? That is high. That is as high as you'll go. All right, so we're just going to do a secondary hydrogen storage tank right here. I need to space you out a little bit more. Okay, wow. You really need a lot of space to place these. Okay, in that case, it was the Tesla tower. All right, so now that's going to fill up, and that will allow hydrogen to be produced. And this should solve some of the fuel problem. So that really explains, this is the main issue. Titanium is part of the problem, but I would imagine there's probably titanium starting to back up to a degree here. Yeah, there is. We've got plenty of titanium here, so the issue now is with the hydrogen. So, with that being the first stage of the fix, let's now work on deuterium fractionation. Because I totally overlooked that that was finished, and that's on me. So I need to grab some stone. And I've got those these research buildings done. So now it's just a matter of building. Looks like I have room for 6 fractionators. And once I grab a few more chips, I could go ahead and import some chips here. We do remote demand. I don't know that any ships will be available to immediately bring them, but we can say that we want some chips brought to us. Those are actual chips, by the way. Remember that. Those are processors. So we can call them chips and not feel bad about it. It's pretty great. All right, so fuel in this direction is immediately better. Notice that. And this container is already filling up again. So that was our main issue there. And just to make sure that doesn't happen again anytime soon, I'm going to go ahead and build this all the way up as much as I can. But the main thing we need to do is start burning through our hydrogen. So we're going to set up a fractionation loop. A little bit behind on this. One moment. There we go. I just realized that I had my I had my episode timer blocked by another window, so I was like, I don't even know how long I've been recording. Okay. Probably the most sensible thing to do. We have this hydrogen being burned here. We could go ahead and bring another... We could have it kind of jump off from here in another direction. And we just need to have a loop right around here. So we're going to bring it to about here and bring it down to the ground. And I'm actually not even going to do anything more because I want to build these fractionators first. Okay, so the question is, what direction do I want them to move in? That's probably good. Can I put them exactly side by side, or do I need to space them out? Let's find out. I can put them side by side. Perfect. Okay. So it's going to take a second for that. But so basically the way that these work is you put them along a production chain. It's pretty cool that it's letting me put them exactly side by side like that. I haven't really done it that way before. But that's going to work. And you know what? I take it back. Let me delete that. Because what I want to do... We're setting up a loop here. So let's connect that here. And then we'll have the line continue here. I'll have to pick that hydrogen up in just a moment, but that's okay. So we'll build one there. One there. One there. And just because this is something I might expand later, I'm just going to build them all in a row like so. I'm going to connect them all like this. And then we will make sure they're powered, because obviously some of them are not. And I'm going to put the power behind them. And now, in order for this to really function the way we need it to, we need the line to loop back. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So the best thing to do, I want to have another set of fractionators at some point. So what I'll do is actually bring it here. And the challenge will be that might be enough of a loop, but I think sometimes it might still lock up. So I need to think through the logistics of it a little bit more. So now we need to set up the outputs. Oh, damn, I didn't mean to delete that hydrogen. Oh, well, hit the wrong button. Okay, so... I'm glad I built that pile of sorters when I did, because we have to combine these lines. Or, you know what? No. We don't have to. That's a lie. We do not have to do it that way. What we can do is build a single storage, and they don't have to be... Let me think what the best place to put it would be. Might be better to have it over here. Alright, and I would like to be able to move a line down that direction, so that's about the right place to have it to start. And what we'll do is have... Oh, just kidding. I'm going to have to move you a little bit farther south. Oh, I can't. Because of the... All right, here's what I'll do. I'll put it here. And there's that. There's that. Have to do a little bit of moving. You know what? Screw you guys. I don't need you. They're not necessary anymore. Alright, so now there is one issue, which is the line is not moving. So what I'll have to do is loop this back onto the line so that it can move. Probably just use an additional splitter, like so. Because as long as it can move, then the line can keep, you know, they can continue slowly producing deuterium. Ideally, what you want is you want a very fast-moving kind of loop of hydrogen going through these constantly. There we go. Like that. So the way that these work, as I was about to say a moment ago, is that they have a slight chance, whenever hydrogen passes through them, of producing a single unit of deuterium. And as you can see, that's what we are now building up in this tank. Now, another advantage of this is that because we have these in place, it's burning a little bit of hydrogen when that happens. Ideally, though, what we need to happen, and this is why we need the chips, and I'll go look and see if any have been brought to us, because there's a chance that they have been. Yes, they are. Perfect. They are here. So let's just grab a stack of those. And now what we can do is build some additional fractionators. Plenty more of them, in fact. And I can build them on the other side of that line. And have them also feeding into the deuterium storage. So let's see what we can do here. This time I'm not going to delete the hydrogen. All right, so yeah, there's going to be a bit of a mess while we get this cleaned up. And it looks like they're all powered, which is pretty great. All right, so there's not really a place to put the hydrogen at the moment unless I just did that. I'm just feeding hydrogen to that power plant now, and we were able to get rid of all the hydrogen we were carrying. Perfect. All right, a little bit more. A little bit more. Now we still have to connect these new fractionators. Where did the last of these two... Hang on. I can't see where the last two hydrogen are. Just have to sweep everywhere until I find them. Oh, there's one of them. There it is. Got it. Okay. So now that that's in place, this might be a little bit messy. Actually, no. It won't be, because we can delete that again as well. Power situation is completely fine. You can tell that the loop really badly needs these to be moving as well, so we'll get that happening. All right. Oh man, I love the fact that you can just automatically do this now. It's so great. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see. Okay, so those are in place, and now we just need these to spit out the deuterium they've created, which is plenty. And that allows the entire loop to continue functioning. And that is a lot of deuterium we're now producing. And now we're burning through some of our hydrogen. Honestly, we're several episodes behind, I would say, in getting those set up. They probably were finished while we were so focused on the interstellar transport aspect of things. So now we're going to have the next level of fuel, which I don't know that we actually have. Yeah, we have nothing that requires deuterium yet. But if you... Let's see if we can look at it as a resource. We might not be able to yet. If we go to the tech tree, go to technologies. See, we can actually make deuterium and particle colliders at some point in the future, but we don't have that ability just yet. Is it mini fusion? Here it is, mini fusion power generation. So this is a deuteron fuel rod, an even better fuel rod than we currently have, and we are very close. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and queue that up to being able to produce those fuel rods. It's just that this means of acquiring deuterium is inefficient. It takes a while, if that's not super obvious. So we're going to have to be careful with how we do this. But now that we have some fractionation going, at least, let's take a look at our power situation. Looks good. So what we really need to do is do a little bit of landfilling, I would imagine. Even more than that, though. Hang on. Before I wrap up the episode, let's fly this direction and just see if we can discover some of the additional solar. Yep. These haven't even been built yet, so let's finish these. Just for the satisfaction of it, huh? And then we'll see what the power situation is, because I don't know that this belt, and I do this quite often on my home planet, because again, I don't like to do too much landfilling on the original planet. Some players will just pave this whole thing over and just create a Death Star. And more power to you. I don't do that. But since we have something of a secondary ring set up, it's not as consistent of a ring as the equatorial ring. This is a slightly sub-equatorial ring. We're like a few degrees south. But since we have this set up, we should have a much more solid power generation situation now that all of these are getting finished and connected. Excellent. Okay. That's that. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop this episode here. In the next one, we will work towards our deuteron fuel cells, because that is one more step towards being able to sustainably travel, not just between worlds, but between planets, or between stars. So we have that to look forward to. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. If it's not your first time, or even your second, look for the join button to access unique emotes, badges, and other perks. New episodes are coming out every day at noon U.S. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.